Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Summit Point, West Virginia. The guys from RevoTechnik have invited us out here to test a few of their Volkswagen products on the track. Summit Point is a lovely rolling course with a lot of elevation change, and it's damp but drying. So we're in the 1.8T Mk7 3-door Golf. This thing has an intake, intercooler, exhaust, springs and sway bars, and the stage 1 tune. And believe it or not, that brings this little base car from 170 to 245 horsepower more than the GTI. Not 245 horsepower more, 245 horsepower comma more than the GTI. So that leads me to the question that is somewhat redundant. Why would you not just buy a GTI? Fair point. In some places in the world, you should just buy a GTI, like America. But if you're in one of those places that taxes a 2-liter motor much more heavily than they tax a 1.8-liter motor, such as the UK, where Revo is based, that is why you would want to buy the 1.8. Or maybe you just can't afford it initially and want to upgrade your car later. Maybe you're in high school and your parents gave you one of these and you want to stealthily make it fast. I understand. I'm your boy when it comes to that stuff. So the power is good. You do not get the limited slip differential. So you have to make do with an open diff. Oh, they've also, oh, wow, back end just steps out there. Revo has tweaked the, look at this, lots of oversteer. Revo has tweaked the traction control system. So now it has a sport mode as opposed to just on and off, which is how it comes from the factory. Wow. And it seems it has no problem letting the tail hang out a few degrees before stepping in and bringing it back. Finally flat. I couldn't go flat earlier in the third gear. It'd break the tires loose. This thing is really quick. That was kind of impressive acceleration over that crest there. Come on, go. Look at this. Go, go, go. So I did 100 miles an hour before having to brake in the TDI. We're already past 100 now. There's 110. Wow. As you can see, I'm being extraordinarily conservative with the braking zone at the end of the front straight because of that wet spot between the 2 and the 1 marker, which is not where you want to find out that you have no functional brakes. Sounds good. It's quiet and refined in here. There's no droning from the exhaust. Manual shifter's good. You also only get a 5-speed with this as opposed to the 6-speed in the GTI. For me, that would probably be enough reason to spend money on the GTI. That plus the diff, but this software really wakes up this engine. I don't know if people out there have driven the 1.8 motor, but it's kind of a dog out of the box. It's not really good, but this tune and the intercooler and stuff. Here's some back end, gonna step out. No, it didn't. Unlike the diesel, I stay in second there and go to third here. Go to third about 100 feet later in the gas car than in the diesel car. Oh, here we go. The way it builds speed, though, I mean, wow. For a base Volkswagen, holy hell, is this thing fast. Very surprising. I could probably turn in a little later there and get a better angle at it. It's been a while since I've been to this circuit. Still a very refined experience, though. There was 120. That's for a base Golf? Wow. Pedals are good for heel toe, very easy clutch. Yep, but if I try and put the power down there, it spins them all the way through second, go into third. Less wheel spin once I go into third. Come on, track, dry out for me. I don't like driving in the wet. I live in California. I'm not good at driving in the wet. People make fun of me, but I used to be good at it. Then I moved to California. I also used to like cold, and then I moved to California, and now if it drops below 60, I need a hat and a coat. That's what happens. Stop learning how to drive in the snow. Look at that. There's the back end coming around. Sport mode does save it. So with the sport mode, it doesn't really inhibit your wheel spin, but it does check you on the yaw. If you get about more than 4 or 5 degrees of the back end stepping out, they will use the rear brakes to bring it back in. Good little car though. Oh, you heard a little bit of rub there when it came in compression, but that's what happens when you put a 19-inch wheel on a Golf, I guess. Turning a little later now. That's better. It probably could have carried a little more speed through that. Borrowed car, people. Man, I love the way it pulls at the top of third. That's where you'd really be the most surprised by this thing. The speed that it gathers in third gear is really, really impressive. Come on, gather it up. Nope. See that? Wheel spin, more wheel spin, and the wheel spin just gives you understeer. It breaks the front tires loose, and you lose your cornering momentum. So maybe short shifting third there is the answer. Go. I'm very impressed. I mean, clearly a limited slip diff is the next move for a car like this. You know, any high-powered front-wheel drive car, you really want an LSD if you're serious about performance. But yep, manage that wheel spin. But oh, look at that, back end slides around. It did. Look at that. This thing is tail happy in the wet. Wow. Sliding off the seat a little bit. The TDI has better bolstering. This has the base seats and they kind of stink. Up. Not bad. Not bad. 245 horsepower to a base Golf. I mean, thank God they have this turbo motor now. I mean, for sure, look, if you're in America and you can afford a GTI, get a GTI, for sure. I mean, as good as this stuff is, there is absolutely no substitute for factory performance. However, if you can't afford a GTI, if you live somewhere where the taxes are crazy, if, you know, for one reason or another you can't have a GTI, this is a very nice little package and could save you some money. I liked it. So thanks to Revo for having me out to Summit Point, and I'll see you guys next time.